Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. And coming up in just a few minutes, about 6-7 minutes away, we will let you know a new prize that's been added to our St. Patty's Day broadcast on site. That's incredible. That's so unique. You have to be there on site this Friday, 6 to 10 at Lizzie McNeil's to win it. And we'll get that to you in a second. First, some breaking news of local nature. A Cheetos bag filled with meth was found at an Indiana post office. This was in Evansville. 2 L.A. residents have been arrested. And this is in southern Indiana, but we definitely know our Indiana people over there. Maybe want to avoid this area for a while because I don't know how the meth has contaminated all the mail down there. I just kind of picture that's what's happening. I know it wasn't a Cheetos bag at the post office, but 2 suspicious packages were sent by mail to Evansville that were believed to contain narcotics. They found 40 pounds of meth inside bags of Cheetos Puffs.
Do you think that those were like the heaviest bags ever? Do you think they were dispersed alive big time? Something's off about this Cheetos bag that I'm dragging on the floor.
First off, it was, not even the, let's say, the flaming hot Cheetos. It was the Puffs. They're lighter.
Yeah.
40 pounds of meth. I think they should have probably thought that through a little better on their delivery system.
You're right. The meth people should have thought clearer than they were. It was an issue with the meth users.
This is a problem within the meth community. Is they don't think things through consistently.
Just because you produce and sell meth doesn't mean you do meth, though.
That's true.
Because if you want to keep your money in order, you probably shouldn't do meth if you're selling it because it's a very lucrative business.
Among other reasons, you shouldn't. But yes.
Yeah, you shouldn't do it
on
at all.
On the list of reasons.
Yeah, it's bad. Meth is
not
bad.
Good,
Not good. It's bad, okay?
That's kind of what they teach you in a movie that I'm going to reference. I'm going to make a movie reference here. That's kind of what they teach you in New Jack City. Is you got to sell the drugs, not use them. My girlfriend was gone. I watched BET a few nights ago. A whole new world opened up for me. New Jack City, good movie.
Wait, you watched a movie that wasn't part of a review?
Correct, because I'm a movie guy now.
Oh, that's terrible because that's a good movie. That would have been a pretty good one to review.
That's okay.
Did you guys see what I put in my prep about Case's movie reviews?
I did that you wanted to do the Sound of Music.
Well, it's hit the 60 year. That's awesome.
It's a big anniversary.
You have to see the Sound of Music. That movie's referenced so much.
You know what movie? That movie didn't have? Meth.
There's
no meth in the Sound of Music.
Or like anything good, I bet.
No, there's some pressing topics, surprisingly, in that movie.
I haven't seen that since I was a little kid. Is there an arc that's very...
dark?
Well, I was going to say Nazi.
Yeah. What?
Nazi?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's part of the dark arc that I was previously referencing.
All right, back to the meth, which is also a dark arc. The packages were
thought you said Etsy. I'm sorry. I was like, no, there wasn't any Etsy. Nazi. Yeah.
An Etsy store and sold Nazi stuff. Yeah. It was unfortunate.
Bad.
So those Cheetos Puffs with 40 pounds of meth were delivered to a home in Evansville while detectives watched to see what would happen. They soon saw a white van arrive at the home. It was not OJ. 2 people got out of the car, retrieved the packages, got back in the van, and then they arrested them because they had 40 pounds of meth in Cheetos bags. But glad they got it. We don't need that on the street. It's bad stuff, meth. So I'm glad they took care of that. Other local news in the area, Metra is considering changing the names of all of its lines, and they're asking the public to weigh in. Now, the Metra trains, I take them to visit my brother a lot of times in Glenview because it's just easier. I can just chill out. I can fall asleep on the train. It's very nice, but nice experience. But when I first in my life ever tried to get on a Metra train at Union Station, it is one of the most terrifying experiences any human can go through because you're looking to get on a train and you can't tell where any of them are going because of the names.
Correct. It's the most nervous I've ever been in my entire life. Getting on a train, I feel like Alec Baldwin. I'm going to get on a train to get on a train to try to go to Ravinia to go see Morrissey and Interpol and not knowing if I was going to end up in Highland Park or in Milwaukee was the most nervous I've ever been in my entire life.
But their app and website couldn't make it easier. You just type in the city you want to go to, and it gives you the line, the order of the cities ahead of you, your stop, the time options. Because I used to take the Metra every single day for like 3 years straight. I took it every single day, okay? And it is funny because once you're comfortable with it, you get so annoyed by the person standing in front of the screen. You're like, move! I'm going to miss my train, scooch. But the app really does make it super easy. The names are not helpful at all Because to come to Elgin, I used to take Milwaukee District West. That was my train.
Yeah, what is that? What says
I don't
Elgin
know.
about that?
I passed none of those things. I felt like on the way.
Yeah.
Visually non-descriptive.
I remember going down there the first time, and it said Union Pacific West. And I was like, am I going on a gold rush hunt? I'm just trying to get to Glenview. What train do I take? It's so scary.
I hope you brought your pickaxe with you.
And then I asked the conductor like no less than 7 times. He was ready to throw me off that train.
Bad. Oh.
So wait, sir, this does stop in Glenview, doesn't it? Am I on the wrong train? Do I have to jump out? I pictured myself getting on top of the train and running the other direction like you see in Westerns and trying to get off the Metra train. And so they're talking about changing all the names. So you have, the Union Pacific North, the Union Pacific Northwest, Union Pacific West lines, and all these lines have different names. So they want to change them. This sounds more confusing to me than just leaving them alone, because I think everybody figured it out after the last 60 years of using Metra trains.
Well, I think if they're going to change the names, we should be able to vote on them like we do the snow plows. I think it should be fun.
Well, they're talking about people being able, to take them. You out there that take these lines, you can do that. But I think you're talking about some options that you want to recommend a name.
Like, I think we should vote, and they should be funny, kind of referencing where we're going.
Like, for example.
Oh, do I have to have a name ready right now?
That would help.
I thought you had one.
I wanted to come up with something clever. That's not fair.
I was just curious if you had one in your pocket, ready to go. Like, for example, going to Elgin. What would that be? What would be a fun name for the Elgin train?
What would be a fun name for the...
Oh, Kenzie, she got one.
I'm sorry. You know what? I heard the funniest joke about Elgin, and I thought it was very cute. My whole family's Hispanic, so it's fine.
Who made this joke
they were
about
making fun of
Elgin?
me for being a Hispanic person who lives in Elgin because it's a super Hispanic community, which I'm fine with. That's one of the reasons I wanted to live here. And they go, "What'd they call Elgin before all the Hispanics moved there?" And I go, "What?" And they said, "Gin." Elgin.
Oh,
So I would probably name it something like that. I think it's funny. I thought it was so cute. That's a funny joke. I liked it.
I like it.
I thought it was cute.
I like it.
It really made me laugh. I didn't know what they were going to say. And I was a little worried that I was going to be like, hey, back up. Don't talk about Hispanic people like that. But it was funny. It was okay.
I'm going to Elgin.
They call it before gin.
So here's what Metro's thinking of doing, by the way. They're going to make it worse. They want to just have a single color for all lines, labeling all lines with an M for Metra paired with a number. So the trains would be M1, M2, M3. That's not going to help anything. It's going to make it worse.
Well, now they sound like planes. Is that what they call them, Mach 1 and 2? Isn't that the name of planes?
That's the speed when they go in the speed there.
Mach is a speed?
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's the speed of sound. Mach 1 is the speed of sound. Mach 2 is double the speed of sound.
Oh, fast planes.
Yeah, they move. They move pretty good.
Ashley in Oak Park checked under the text line. If we're going to rename the Elgin train, she wins this competition. She wants to call it the Highway to Helgin.
Lit. See, I like that. That's what I'm talking about. That's funny.
Okay.
So awesome.
Highway to Helgin.
Helgin.
Helgin. Got
Why
it.
is that hard for you?
So you see, it's like hell, but then Elgin.
Got it.
Like
Okay.
Highway to Hell, with gin.
Got it. I got it. Okay, that one's done.
The Elgin engine. These are fun. That's what it should be. It should be fun.
And it also helps you know where you're going. M1, M2, M3. I don't know where the hell I'm going on those
Well,
trains.
by the way, how is that even, I thought they were going to get descriptive. M1 it's the same amount of descriptive as before, as in none. So why are you changing it?
And also, by the way, you got to remember, people go in the shows, taking that late train out of the city back home. That is a wild scene, by the way. Everybody is hammered on those Metro trains in that last train out. No one's going to find out how to get home with M2.
Oh, so good.
But Highway to
They're going to think
Helgin,
they're like, no, I want to be on the first train. I'll do M1. I want to be out first.
I would know how to get home with Highway to Helgin.
Mm-hmm.
I would know how to get home.
Yeah, I'd be like, Helgin, get on it.
Now, also, this is the first act of the new regime at Metra and CTA. Is that part of the thing? Or does the CTA oversee Metra? They do.
CTA does oversee
Yeah, so
Metra.
they have a new regime
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So,
Well, they're just as corrupt as the last one.
well, trying to make names. They should sponsor the trains.
Well, this is my fear, is that we're actually going to end up at a point where it's like, the Metro PCS Metra train. It's just everything's going to become one giant corporation again. Max, the streaming service, is going to sponsor a train line. Bonefish Grill is going to sponsor another one. Everything is just going to be an ad by the end of the day.
Yeah. The Viagra train to Orland Park.
That's the spirit. Yeah, that's the Viagra train. Hop on that.
Brian and Kenzie.
On Q 101.
Kenzie's Crime's on the way. We were just talking about the Metra trains, thinking of changing the names of the train to make it easier to get where you want to go. Highway to Helgen would be a great train name.
Hell yeah, I love that.
Also checking in from Plainfield this morning. We got a text. The Jello train. Call it the Jello train. Brought to you by Bill Cosby. Where's it go? No one remembers.
Oh, boy.
Yikes.
Not good.
Thanks, Plainfield, for that one.
Hey, Brian, I know you're about to talk about St. Patrick's Day in a second.
Yes.
Before you do that, can you tell people what we've got going on at this time tomorrow?
Oh, my goodness. At this time tomorrow, how about this? Our good friend Billy Corrigan's going to call in, of the Smashing Pumpkins of Chicago, kind of our concierge, if you will, the guy that we always look to with such honor of the times he's given us the joy. And even more recently at Twisted just last year and the concert at the Metro a few years back. But Billy Corrigan will be checking in at 8 o'clock tomorrow with Brian and Kenzie on Q101. And we go forward a few days to Friday, 6 to 10 a.m. Q101 St. Patrick's Day live broadcast with Brian and Kenzie. We're all going to be out there, sponsored by Angry Orchard and IDOT. Don't press your luck, drive sober, or get pulled over. It's going to be 71 degrees now, they're saying. Unbelievable for the day that, and our broadcast that starts off St. Patty's Day weekend in Chicago with the river dying all weekend, the North and South Side parades, everything. So Lizzie McNeil's right on the river on McClurg Court, 400 McClurg Court. Go to Q101.com, put it in your maps and get there. We have a new added on huge prize to the already huge prizes. Alanis Morissette in Vegas. Round trip airfare, 2 tickets to see Alanis Morissette at the Coliseum at Caesars Palace on Friday, October 24th, plus a 2-night hotel stay at the Flamingo Hotel and Casino in Vegas. So on site, we have that, plus Lumineers tickets for Soldier Field, System of a Down for Soldier Field, Coheed and Cambria, and Taking Back Sunday at Northerly Island, Shine Down at Allstate Arena, Lincoln Park United Center, Ghost at Allstate Arena, Dave Matthews Band, Northerly Island. Every 15 minutes, we're going to have some things, basically all of these inside the venue. So you come to Lizzie McNeil's, you pack the house, you will walk away with free stuff. First 50 in the door get Q101 pint glasses. We have some free food and all kinds. It's a party. It is one of the things we look forward to every year. And Kenzie, it's her first time because she was on maternity leave last year.
Oh, slammed. I was so busy.
Quite busy. And no baby will be with you. Marina will not be with you.
Woohoo! Not bringing him.
Yep. So look out. And not bringing him.
Yeah.
Kenzie's got a green plaid skirt. She's already part of her outfit. Half her outfit's done. Unless that's the whole outfit. Is that the
That's
whole thing?
not the whole outfit. Relax.
It'd be kind of cool if it was, though.
I got to get my pasties back from Megan.
Do you have shamrock pasties you can wear?
Do I have shamrock pasties? Have you ever met me?
Yeah, get out of town.
Every holiday. What are you talking about?
That's the spirit.
She's got a pasty closet.
Yeah. Are you stupid?
So this Friday, join the party. And man, being 70 degrees is going to be ridiculous. All the information at Q101.com for your chance at all elite prizes for you because you deserve it.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101 with some music entertainment news. And we start off somber and with a plot twist that is like a movie of the Gene Hackman death situation. So it's been now, I guess, 3 or 4 weeks where we figured that Gene Hackman died, and then his wife tragically died as well in the house. And there was a lot of speculation what happened. Maybe she was heartbroken. There was pills near her, and maybe she killed herself. Just some very weird speculation because it was so bizarre, the situation. Now we find out what happened, and it's even more mind-blowing that it turns out she passed away first of an incredibly rare situation called hantavirus pulmonary syndrome. It's something, a rare disease transmitted through rodents. And
what?
Yes. This is so weird.
So she passed away first from this disease.
She passed away in the house first from this disease, and she's been essentially his caretaker. He's 95 years old, and then we find out he had Alzheimer's. So she was apparently an incredible caregiver for him this whole time. She passes away in the house, and apparently February 11th. He died a week later after she was laying in the house dead. And
my God.
Yeah. And because
that is so heartbreaking. Him probably walking around confused and not knowing what to do. Oh my gosh.
It's incredible and sad. It's incredibly sad how this all went down. And, when there's been some reports come out and people say he lived to 95 because of how she took care of him, especially taking care of somebody with Alzheimer's. She was 65 and he was 95. And he died of hypertensive and arteriosclerotic cardiovascular disease. But Alzheimer's disease was the big factor, the contributory, when he sat alone in the house after she passed away.
That is so heartbreaking.
It really is. But it's also completely opposite of what everybody thought happened.
Right.
When it first went down. So that's the latest report. The investigation took some time, and I guess now we know why it took a lot of time. So they had to really figure out what was going on and do an autopsy.
It's just bizarre.
Yeah.
Just completely bizarre.
Yeah. There's no way to get out of that tragic story except for talking about what Gene Simmons wants you to pay him.
Naturally. All right.
There's no segue here.
In other news.
Gene Simmons lost his mind, in my opinion.
Clearly. So Kiss is known for everything from Kiss coffins. They definitely get every dollar from their fans who love him. And God love those
every
fans.
Dollar from their fans.
Including at the end, the Kiss coffins. And if you want to spend your money on whatever, if you love the band, fine. But Gene Simmons is charging fans $12,000 to be his, quote, personal assistant for one day. You pay $12,000 to be his assistant for one day. Gene's 75 years old now. I guess he's got to get the last dollar out of everybody.
Bro, but when you look at the list, it's a lot of hard work. So you're going to pay him $12,000 to spend the day doing a lot of work in which he should be paying someone to do.
It says not only will the lucky fan do manual labor.
Lucky. Lucky to spend $12,000 to do manual labor.
Yeah, you'll help band set up for the show, but they will sit in on a sound check. Now that's cool. Arrive at the venue with the band and hang out backstage. So
it's not cool. It's a Kiss sound check. This isn't a Mumford & Sons sound check. It's Kiss. I want all of these guys to go away so badly. They all suck. The band sucks. The exploitation sucks. If you
they
pay
don't suck.
Now, Kenzie, they're awful. Kiss is an
Can I say something though?
Go ahead.
Preach.
It's not that hard to be around a Kiss sound check because I've been at one, and that should speak volumes about how easy it is to be at a Kiss sound check.
Now, to be fair, I'm sure it was easier for you to get in than other people.
I'm just saying, it's not
true.
Were you wearing the plaid Irish skirt you're wearing for Lizzie McNeil's this Friday?
But when I was a news reporter, they wanted us there to cover their sound check, so I did. But there were a lot of people there. Again, it wasn't, I don't know if they all spent $12,000 or what, but there was plenty of people there. It's not that hard to get into a Kiss sound check.
If you love what you love, fine. I'm not judging if you love Kiss. You're going to go.
Love a different band.
Well, that's you.
There's so many of them. Pick a different one.
Kiss is good. Don't be nasty. I just don't think somebody should spend $12,000 to work. Was my point.
Kenzie, they're awful.
They're not awful.
God.
Come on. I got my dad tickets to that show. You like this?
Now,
and I love your dad, but come on now.
Now, Case, I want you to tell the story of what happened to you when you went to interview a band at Bottom Lounge, and you became a roadie without knowing it. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
I was doing an interview with Dan Campbell, who's in the Wonder Years, and then his side project, Aaron West, last year. This is a Case for, which is my interview series on Q101's YouTube channel.
Oh, nice plug.
New episodes out every Monday. And I'll say this. The guy that I was interviewing has the single best publicist in music. If you want an interview from one of her clients, she will get you an interview. But in the lead up to it, she kept on going, okay, the interview's happening. You'll need to remind him. He's not, it would seem like he didn't know the interview was happening. So Giorgio, who is our video guy here, and myself, we go to the Bottom Lounge. The interview's supposed to be at noon. He's not at the venue at noon. 12:05, he's not at the venue. 12:10, not at the venue. 12:30, he finally gets to the venue, and he sees me, and I introduce myself, and I say, I'm Case from Q101. I'm here to interview you, and he blew right past that. He did not acknowledge it. He did not hear it. He did not take any heed of it whatsoever. He goes, so what door should we load in our instruments? I go, hey, man, that's up to you. that is whatever you feel is easiest. She goes, all right, why don't you give us a hand? And so I thought I was just going to maybe prop open the door for him while he brought in some of the stuff that was on his truck because he had a big, 10-piece, almost Bruce Springsteen E Street Band type thing with him. I start unloading instrument after instrument, cable after cable. I'm touching the lighting. Things are spiraling out of control. And I told Giorgio, our video guy, I said, I am now realizing what's happening after about 30 minutes of helping him unload
30 minutes it took you to figure this out.
Kenzie, you and me would have had this done in 2 minutes. Hey man, I don't work here. I'm here to interview you.
Do you understand how fast I would have explained that I'm not there to help?
Case started restringing guitars. He moved trucks.
I don't play guitar,
Yeah,
by the way.
he moved
He would have been
trucks.
like, can you help me? I would have been like, no. End of the conversation.
I just thought this was going to be a series of small favors, and then I finally, after a half hour, realized that he was now expecting me to perform a sound check, to perform a lighting test, to perform all these things. And I told Giorgio, I said, I don't have the social skills to explain to him that why he thinks I'm here is not why I'm here. Can you please tell him we're supposed to interview him? And
You sent someone else to
Kenzie, I couldn't be like, hey, so you know all that work I just did for you? I'm not the guy you wanted. I'm actually here to
You
ask
should
you.
have just left. You should have just left.
Well, when he found out that I was here to interview him, he wasn't thrilled. He was like, oh, great, something to slow me down now.
Yeah.
Once you hang cabinets for a band part of the PA system, you can't go back and say, I'm actually a radio personality of somewhat importance to interview you.
Big show in Chicago. Maybe you've heard of it. No.
All your respect is on the floor by the sewer by that point. There's no way you can get it back. It's gone.
Kenzie, it was not good. It was
So
really
he's like, oh, so you set up stages and then you're like a wannabe podcaster?
No, I am a wannabe podcaster. That's my whole thing.
I actually have a I have a podcast on a legitimate network.
He's like, right. Anyways, make sure the guitars are good.
Anyways, the cheese on this tray is warm now. Can you get me a new one?
And now just think you can pay $12,000 to do that for Gene Simmons.
Oh,
All you have to do is spend $12,000.
That's it. And you can be Gene Simmons' roadie. There you go.
And it says you get sound check. I don't know if you get tickets to the show. Just wait it out.
Oh, that'd be amazing. They escort you out.
Yeah, no, you have to buy tickets at the front.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101, and a lot to focus on the next couple days. Obviously, we're heading toward our St. Patty's Day broadcast Friday with so many elite, humongous concert tickets on site, including a trip to see Alanis Morissette in Vegas, 6 to 10 a.m. Like, you could show up, right now for 3 days from now. Let's see, Tuesday. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, 3 days, 9:37. You can stop at any time you want and still win something. It doesn't have to be at 6 a.m. if you can't make it at 6. You can stop in at 9. We're going to be partying hard. And what a time it's going to be at Lizzie McNeil's. All the information at Q101.com this Friday. But even before that, tomorrow, 8 o'clock, Billy Corrigan on the show from the Smashing Pumpkins. And at 7:35, Mumford & Sons. That just telling you about how you can get a chance to meet the band, get a picture, and exclusive tickets to that show that sold out in seconds. That's coming up a week from Saturday at the Chicago Theater. You'll never see them there again. This is it. There's a lot on deck already for tomorrow. Case, what do you got from our takeaways from our listeners?
Maddie's takeaway, The Sound of Music doesn't have meth or Etsy, so what's even the point of watching it?
Because it's the anniversary, damn it.
It'd be nice, a little more meth would have been good in Sound of Music.
That's what I was saying.
Kenzie, what do you got?
Angel texted in takeaway. I got an Apple Watch. Brad, yeah, I'm losing.
I completely forgot that was today, by the way.
I know.
Yes.
We know.
Finally, staying with that theme, Tony checked in from 847. Takeaway, HBO Max. Son of a bitch.
Jonas, son of a bitch.
Well, you certainly need to go to the podcast to figure out where these conversations started and ended.
Yeah, what a day on the Brian and Kenzie podcast. Obviously, it's Tuesday, so a new Kenzie's Crimes. Once you get done with that, you must relive both the tales of Brian embarrassing his entire family at the Bonefish Grill, and why that chain might go out of business because of what Brian did. And then also, Brian went on a rant in the middle of Clash with Kenzie today. He's never gone on a rant like this before. I've never heard him sound like this. I've never heard him act like this.
We're concerned.
I'm extremely concerned. You might have finally, quote unquote, lost it. And you can listen to that on the Brian and Kenzie podcast today.
I feel fine. I think it was on point. I think it was.
No, you seem great.
I was articulate in my argument, and Case came back and he listened to it to put together for the podcast, Kenzie, and he said, "You don't believe how unhinged you sound during Clash with Kenzie." Listen,
it was more like Brian crashing out than it was a clash. It's unbelievable.
Well, all that's on the podcast. Get it where you get them. Of course, Spotify, Apple. The Q101 app has been newly redesigned. It's amazing. Download that on your phone and get it there.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.